Hey guys, we are going to continue with day 3 with our math lesson. And today we'll finish out pages 180 and 181 that you have in your packet. And because it'll be real quick for 181, you have to measure at your house and discuss that. So let's look on page 180 and let's look at what it wants us to do. Number 12, it says explain. Estimate the length of your arm. Use one of the units in the box to make your estimate. Write your estimate. Explain how you made your estimate. Well, we can go centimeters, inches, feet, or meters. Now, if you look at your entire length of your arm, do you think centimeters would be a good way to measure? Not really, because you would take so many of them. The same thing with inches. Now, your little arms are probably not as long as meters. So if you think about it, I would go with feet. And if you remember yesterday, and I've mentioned to you before in class, usually from your wrist to the bend of your elbow is about a foot. And if you look at it and you fold your arm up all the way, bend it at the elbow and fold it up, you have about the same distance from your elbow to your shoulder. So that would be about how many feet, guys? So I would say it's about 2 feet. So to answer this question, you would say, it says write your estimate. I estimate 2 feet. And then it says explain how you made your estimate. I know that both parts of my arm are about the same length and each is about 1 foot. All right, so then you just had to explain, how did you get that? How did you know? And we just talked it out loud with the centimeters and inches being too small and the meters being actually too long. So we knew that feet would be the best form of measuring. So now let's analyze. I want you to analyze. So number 13 says Eric estimates that the length of a crayon is about 4 inches. He measures the crayon and says he has a length of 10 inches. Do you think his estimate or his measurement is wrong? And why? So what do you think he may have done? I'm thinking about 10 inches is almost a complete foot. And I know that when I'm coloring, I don't have that much a ruler length hanging out of my hand when I'm coloring. So I think that the 4 inches, his estimate is probably right. And I think maybe he made the mistake of when he measured with centimeters instead of inches. Maybe. I don't know. But I agree with his estimate. So how do we write that? I know that 10 inches is almost a foot, and crayons are not that long. So his estimate is correct, is how I would put it. All right. So now let's look at number 14 where it says identify. Which is the best estimate for the length of a seesaw? So think about a seesaw if you go to Parks and Rec, if you play any kind of sports or you go out there to the playground, and think about 30 inches. 30 inches isn't quite as long as a yardstick. So do you think that's good? 100 yards. Now think about a football field. A football field is 100 yards. So do you think it would be about 4 meters? Think about a meter stick and it would be 4 of those, you on one side and your friend on the other. So I think I would definitely go with 4 meters. And I would explain that. Just what we said. 30 inches is shorter than a yard.